As to the making of the law, there's only, Florida is a little bit of an exception. There's only a few places where that the laws are so explicit that you could not fight them and win, but nobody will fight them.
So far.
Well, they won't.
If you can't win, if you can't win, then there's that. But in the places where you can win, at some point they will.
Well, it'll all go away eventually. No, I mean, look at the books that have been banned in my lifetime that are still kind of on the, oh, that's a bad book list. I mean, you go the other way. Huck Finn. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. To Beat a Tiger, which, you know, I mean, there are more that if I put my mind to it, I could think of. But when I was that age, that wasn't a prohibition. That was an enticement. Oh, there must be something bad in that book.
Yeah, as long
Maybe
as you...
I wish I could find that book and find out what it says. As long as you can get your hands
on it somewhere, yeah, it's an enticement maybe. Well, I read Melissa Marr's Carnival of Souls. Finally, I guess. That was good. I enjoyed that. It's clearly a first book in a series, but I thought she did a really nice job with it. She writes well, so Melissa Marr. And then I just read the Newbery Award winner for 2022. So the ALA Youth Awards were announced in January, and I was kind of gobsmacked because I hadn't read most of the books that were on the list. So now I'm playing catch up. Mm-hmm. So I've got a whole slew of books, picture books and everything else. But I read Free Water by Amina Lukman Dawson. And it's actually a fictionalized, it's a novel. It's fiction. It's historical fiction, but it's about the maroon colonies in the swamps. So and about one specific one that she's kind of made up based on some of the archaeological finds that they've had and the discoveries that they've made based on those communities where the escaped slaves went into the swamps and were able to create communities and survive. So that was a very, very hard read for me. I enjoyed it. It was a very fast read. I mean, I read it in like 4 days, just in 4 different sittings. So it reads quickly. But I was concerned about the characters so much for most of this book that I was upset reading it. So she did a great job. There are a couple of point of view breaks in there that bothered me, but other than that, I thought she did an excellent job with this book. It's called Free Water. I can see why it won the Newbery for middle grade fiction. So, yeah, that's what I've been reading.
Well, I forgot to mention Desert Star, Michael Connelly.
Oh, okay.
I know I'm a huge Bosch fan. The reason I've liked his later Bosch books is that Bosch gets old.
Yeah, you've told me that.
This one is almost his swan song. I predict the next book that involves Bosch will either die or ride off into the sunset with the understanding that you'll never see him again. The whole Bosch thing revolves around him having particular cases that he just can't let go of. And this is no exception. But it's split about 50-50 between him and the character Renee Ballard, who was a L.A. cop who's worked with him before. And the two voices work very well together. Bosch has leukemia.
Ooh. Yeah, he's definitely on his way out.
And so I just love what Connelly has done with his characters and how he realistically ages them. Bosch isn't running into gunfire anymore, you know?
Nice.
It's well done. I enjoyed it a lot. And then I also read Shiloh by James Reasoner that I was rather profoundly disappointed in. It's a nice book. But it's more a book about a family and the family dynamics and the dynamics of the young man going off to seek his fortune than it actually is about the battle. The battle's the last scene, and it's an incidental, a throwaway. It's leading up to it. And I found I didn't really like the character that much. I mean, I understand, callow youth and all that, but he's a little bit too clueless most of the time.
I've read books like that, and it's when the girls were younger, and I was listening to a lot of audiobooks and I would be dropping them off from school and picking them up after work because I had a long commute. There were days when we'd be in the car and one of the girls would say, "Come on, she needs to get a clue now. It's been forever."
Right, exactly. It's like
even the girls who only were getting parts of these books. So yeah,
anyway. That's my reading list. So
cool. How's the writing going?
I'm grinding right now. I always get to that point in a book where I'm in the middle, and I kind of know where it's going. I'm struggling to give Cleo background and not have it come off as just a giant info dump. Because there's a whole lot of stuff that she needs to tell Zach that's critical to events coming up. So they're having a conversation. And I'm really, really trying hard not to make it just this giant, this is what I did with my life up till now.
Right.
And keep it relevant. So I've actually revised it several times already, and I'm not even done with it.
Well, yeah, that's a balancing act, right?
Yeah.
That's a total balancing act. And maybe there are other places in the book where you can drop some of it.
Well, some of that's already been kind of dropped as a hint from other characters, but this is the kind of big reveal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This is why I'm faster than everybody.
Right.
This is why I'm so good at what I do.
Okay.
And think if you ever saw Orphan Black or Red Sparrow.
Not Red Sparrow, but yeah, I get where
Girls
you're going.
Raised for the sole purpose of being assassins.
I get where you're going because I was thinking of Killjoys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, how's your writing?
I've been writing. Woohoo! So, in addition to the rest of the things that I do, I've actually made some progress on my current work in progress, Dating and Demons. So, I'm feeling pretty okay about it. I'm at that point where I'm just writing it, and I'm really going to have to go back and push it a little more in a few places. But I'm getting the choreography and the actions on the page, and the reason that they're there, that's on the page. I'm just going to have to push a little harder on the emotion because I don't think I'm getting quite enough emotion on the page. But yeah, it's coming along. I've been. It's interesting because I was reading somewhere along the lines where someone was talking about how to make romance work. Even if it's not a romance, and let them hook up at the beginning, and then don't let them hook up for the rest of the book until you get to the end, and let them have nearly able to hook up, or that sort of thing. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I don't know that that's how I see it, but I'm going to try a little bit of that and see how it goes. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One of the things that I've been looking at lately, and I have a lot of downtime when I'm on trauma call. Like being in a fire or a house, you're just waiting for the alarm to go up. And I try to write, but sometimes the writing escapes me. And so I binge watch things. And I have greatly admired the writers on the current Prime series 1923.
Okay.
Now, you can't go wrong with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. You can't. But the writing that they've been given, the lines they've been given, are just spot on. I mean, here's two very strong people, strong actors and strong people, and the characters going at it at each other and then making up. And it's all done in such a believable way with such witty lines that it's like, I'm going to steal that. I love that.
Yeah. I love it when you're paying attention to that sort of thing and you're really getting the language and you're really getting the... When I read the Midnight Library, so a lot of people read the Midnight Library, and a lot of people loved it, right? It became a runaway bestseller and everything. But there were a lot of people who I've talked to who read it, and they just read it as a story. And to them, it was like, yeah, it's an okay book, right? But I'm in there, and it's the language and the way that the seeds are planted and the layering and the circling back of motif and, all of the simile and metaphor and all of that literary stuff that just, for me, enhanced that story so much. And I was talking to some people today about it because we were having a conversation about books, and some of them didn't care for the character. They thought the character didn't have enough emotion on the page and didn't react. And to me, because the character's so depressed, I felt like, of course she didn't have a reaction because...
Her affect is flat. She's not capable of that.
Yeah, she's not capable of having a real reaction or an emotional reaction to anything. She's just going through the motions for a big chunk of the book. And later, that changes. But it changes along the way. And to me, that's all part of her journey and part of her arc. So, as readers, we come to things so differently, right? I mean, it's a runaway bestseller. A lot of people liked it for various reasons, but it's interesting. It's always interesting to talk to those people who don't feel the same way about a book, right? That you do, because
and in writing, you pick up on a lot of that stuff. It's the same way I do when I'm watching a movie. It's like, no, come on, that.
Right,
give me a break, or oh my goodness, that was such a well done scene, or that one line of dialogue just captured everything right there.
Everything's a mentor text when you're writing, right? Yeah. It's all. Ooh, how did they do that? I want to just see how the brush strokes behind the painting. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, after Tucson, we have the LA Times Festival of Books coming up.
Right.
Yeah. So that's April.
April.
I
have it right here. It is...
I think it's the fourth weekend in April.
21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Because the first weekend in April, I am at the Renaissance Festival for 2 days.
And the second weekend, we are at the Mesa
Book Crawl. Yeah, so...
That'll be fun, too.
Yeah, so LA will be the fourth weekend of April. So,
yes.
So we have a lot coming up.
We're getting into the season here, so...
Yeah. So I heard a rumor that we were going to be at the Oro Brewing Company again this year, you and I.
That could be very dangerous. Come on down and have a beer, talk books.
That was a lot of fun last year.
It was very, very enjoyable.
It was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to
Get
the
your
Mesa
little
Book
card
Club.
stamped and sit with us and have a beer.
Right? Again, ways to support your favorite local authors.
Exactly.
Come out and have a beer with us. Buy a book. Get a stamp. Do the Mesa Book Crawl. It'll be fun. So that's what I know.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
So I guess we're going to sign out for tonight. Thank you again for listening to this edition of the Brick Cave Podcast. Anytime you want to hear us, just join us online at brickcavepodcast.com, all one long word. Our BC Book Club members can enjoy extra episodes and other great advantages such as
free books.
Details on the Brick Cave website, brickcave.media. Thanks again, everybody, for listening, and we'll drop again soon.
Bye.